Hey guys, it's Chase here, and I just wanted to really quickly go over my thoughts for the patch notes version 2.0 that just came out a couple hours ago. This is not going to be like a whole analysis video because I just don't have time for that right now. I need to wake up in 6 hours, so I'm already behind schedule, but I do want to get this video out. So yeah, we're just going to go over, we're not going to go over everything, but we're going to go over the things that I think are important. So first off, yeah, right here, the tri-stringer and wiper buffs. These are like the best things in the patch to me. This 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 is what these weapons needed. They both needed paint buffs. Um, and yeah, I think these are gonna be great because these weapons they're not bad. They didn't paint a lot. That was what held them back the most, I think. But now it's hard to tell because they don't say how well. Okay, it does say right here for wiper 27%, but for the rest of it, it doesn't say like how much exactly. It just says like increased. So we're gonna have to wait and see like how much exactly that is. But hopefully it's by a decent margin. If you guys don't know, I've been using this Splatoon wiper a bit recently, and I want to use it more, but it was just really hard to use because there were a few things that held it back, in my opinion. But this was like one of the main things, and now that's being fixed. So yeah, I'm excited to use that more. I'm gonna try and pick that up as a secondary weapon now, I think. And Tri-Stringer, I mean, I don't use Tri-Stringer. I have no desire to use Tri-Stringer, but I do think that's a cool weapon that should be good. And I think might be the factor that makes it become that. So yeah, angle shooter being buffed, perfect. I don't know if this is enough because it was very weak before. Its damage was not increased. It's just you throw it 20% faster, or not throw it. It moves 20% faster in the air, and it has more range. So, that's good, but I don't know if this will be enough to make it like a good sub. We'll have to wait and see. Zipcaster buff, this is really good. So it's about 33% faster in total, or not faster, but like, when you use your ink, it'll like decrease the meter like more slowly. I don't know why I said faster. Sorry. It's late at night, guys. Ink vac. Okay. These kind of are the same thing right here with Ink Vac and Reslider. So they just buff the damage on them so that it'll do more damage to Big Bubble and Rainmaker shields, and it allows players to defeat opponents' armor due to Squid Roll, Squid Surge. Okay. Ink Vac, that's fine. I think that's a good change for Ink Vac. That's actually a significant damage increase. That's up by 100. So yeah, that's good. Okay, Reslider though. I know my viewers care probably more about this, since I imagine a lot of my viewers like dualies and like Tetra dualies and Dapple dualies, which will have Reslider soon. So what do I think of this buff right here? Well, to be honest, I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. What would make a difference? Okay, this is kind of a weird one because they're leaving out a very important detail, and then they might be leaving it out because they're not changing it, which would be really stupid if they don't change it. So if you're in its lethal radius, then it'll do 220 damage. So that's, as it says, it's going to be better against things like Big Bubbler, Rainmaker Shields. It'll be better against Crab Tank too. If you don't run over the Crab Tank, if you just detonate near it, it'll be better against that as well. But this is good that people can't Squid Roll or Squid Surge out of it now. Because before, you could just Squid Roll and like kind of parry it and live a direct Reslider Blast, and I think that was the dumbest thing ever. So that can't happen anymore. So that's a good change. However, that's about all this is gonna do, though. Everything I just described, that's all this is gonna do. It will not. They didn't buff its end lag. They didn't buff its start lag. It's gonna be kind of the same. But what they're not telling us is if they buffed its splash damage. So if you guys watched my recent Reslider versus Splashdown video, you might remember that I mentioned that Reslider cannot do the torpedo like explosion combo anymore, like after where you roll a torpedo on the ground after someone's caught in your splash damage from Reslider, because Reslider only did 60 damage and a rolled torpedo does 35, so that's only 95 damage, so that won't kill. Whereas Splashdown, that did I think it was 70 partial damage or splash damage, whatever you want to call it. Then you roll a torpedo, that does 35, so that kills them. But you couldn't do that. But they're not saying they're buffing the splash damage, though. They're only increasing the lethal damage in the lethal radius. And if that's the case, that kind of sucks because that barely changes anything. Like if they buff its splash damage, then that'll give it a lot more combo potential, and that'll actually make Dapples like have a niche. But if they don't do that, then Dapples will just continue to be sucky and not worth using over Tetra at all. If you give it that combo, at least has something over Tetra. It could do a cool combo with its sub weapon, but nope, doesn't look like it is. So that's disappointing. Oh, okay. Well, of course, we gotta talk about this. This might be the best thing in the patch, actually. So yeah, missiles nerfed. It got the nerf that everyone wanted for like 3 years. I don't know why it took this long, but it is here. So you launch the missiles now. You gotta your meter will decrease as the missiles are launching, and you cannot start refilling it until all the missiles are like completely like decimated. Like they have to all be completely shot. Well, actually, no, I think they have to hit the ground. Charging again until the gauge is completely drained. Well, okay, it doesn't specifically say, but I'm assuming your meter doesn't like you can't start charging the meter again until all the missiles like have hit the ground and are gone. So yeah, great change. Fantastic change. This is what everyone wanted. This will greatly help with missile spam. That's good. That's good. Love it. Love it. Love it. Let's see. They changed special. Okay, aerospray, and yeah, these are all fine. Don't really care about these particularly. I don't think these are gonna make a difference. I mean, 190 tactical is cool on NZAP. H3, good. I saw some people complaining about this. How E leaders have 10 more points now. I mean, I saw it coming. But it's only 10 points. E-leader paints well. I really don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, but it is interesting that they nerfed this and didn't nerf some other things. Okay, well, this excited me for a second, but then it says this is only turf war for this undertow change, so that's pointless. Okay, these are actually really underrated. I feel like I'm the only person who cares about these changes, but these are great. So these are some sensory buffs. Or I guess you could say sensory nerfs, depending on how you look at it. But, I'm someone who... I don't know. Splatoon gives me like sensory overload sometimes, and I don't pick up on certain cues, and I don't realize something's there. So like I can't register in my brain fast enough that a bomb was rolled like behind a wall near me or something, or that a booyah bomb is being used near me. All that stuff. Or Trizuka. That's a really good one. It's easier to hear Trizuka now on the enemy team. So these are great changes. It's gonna make all these things way easier to hear and notice that it's happening. So that's great. They announced X battles. The one notable thing here is that it says players battle until reaching 3 wins or 3 losses, whereupon X power is gained or lost based on the results. So that's good, I think, because just one bad match with bad teammates won't screw you. It gives you kind of like 3 chances. Well, it's more than 3. It's just until you get 3 wins or 3 losses. So yeah, yeah, and that'll come out as soon as the new season's out. So good. Players reset the rank. I don't really care about that. They changed the value. Some of those don't care. You can read that yourself if you guys care about that. Okay. There's some cool stuff. Data for big run. We expected that. I still don't really understand what job scenarios are. It seems like, from what I gather, it's like if you have like a really hard wave that you just encountered and you beat it, then like you could like save it and send it to your friends, and they could try like the exact same wave that you just had. I'm assuming the wording's a little weird. If anyone wants to elaborate on that in the comments, feel free. But I think that from what I just said, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. And like anyone, you could like share the code with anyone, and anyone can play it. So yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay, they nerfed Big Shot, which is kind of funny. I do think that's deserved. Big Shot was definitely a little overpowered. Like, if there's a Big Shot on the field, that's the biggest threat. Like, absolutely. Like, you always go out to the Big Shot. So it's gonna be a little. I mean, it's still going to be that, but it's a little easier to kill them now because they move 30% slower. And then it says animation played as a Big shot comes flying in will be shown. So it takes longer to like shoot his little steel ball, or maybe not. I don't know, but either way, they made Big Shot easier to deal with. So yeah. They buffed some specials in Salmon Run. That's always good. Yeah, I did notice. Like, yeah, they camp your inkjet spot. The Salmonids, they camp your inkjet landing, or they did. They won't now, but they used to, and I thought that was a little broken. This is good also. If you guys have experienced frame drops in Salmon Run, they're trying to get rid of that by capping the amount of Salmonids at 15. And it's saying right here that like if you just like in a normal playthrough, like where you're just defeating bosses normally, even at a fast rate, you're not gonna. This won't affect your gameplay at all. But it's basically just going to affect at times when like like if it's a bad rotation and there's bad weapons and like sometimes it's hard, you can't kill enemies. Like let's say you have like a Hydra and a Tri-Stringer and I don't know what's another weapon that sucks in Salmon Run, Arrow Spray, like or Ink Brush. Like you have a comp like that, and sometimes you guys just can't kill enemies, and more of them keep spawning, and you have to like run away from them. This then it'll come into effect because enemies won't keep spawning. So that's good. They announced some Splatfest changes. It's kind of I didn't look into this too much, but it seems like anyone can do tricolor battles now, like whenever you want, and you could be on the attacking or defending team, which is interesting. So like, do you just play for the other team then? It says you won't know if you're on the attacking team or the defending team. But like, so like if it puts so let's say like the Splatfest team you pick is the defending team, like in the actual Splatfest. Like you were in the lead at the halfway point, so you're the defending team. But then what happens if you get put on the attacking team? Like does the attacking Splatfest team get clout if you win on the attacking team? Like I'm a little confused on that. It might say that here and I just didn't read it and then I look dumb. But I'm too lazy to actually read right now. I don't have time. So if anyone wants to correct me on that, feel free. But I think that's a good change though, because they should let people play more tricolor. Well, you should be able to play it whenever you want because it is a new mode. This is cool. If you win it 10 times, 100, it'll be shown in your pledge box. And if you win one of those, you can board your team's float from your pledge box to take commemorative pictures. So you can take pictures again like you could in Splatoon 2 if you won one of those battles, and that is always cool. Let's see, recon photo mode. That's cool. That's cool. We knew that was coming. Oh, this is interesting. This is something a lot of people looked over. So you can temporarily change your IGN in a private battle. And then it says the idea, for one example, is able to add a team name into one player's name only for private battles. Yeah, this is a great change. That's perfect because if you don't know, it takes if you can't change your normal in-game name whenever you want. You have to wait 30 days after you change it once to be able to change it again. So now, when you're in a private battle, let's say you're entering a tournament or something with friends, and you guys all have the same team tag or something, you could put it on just for that private battle, and then it'll go away after. And that's a great thing. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Of course, there's a ton of bug fixes and stuff, but I'm not gonna go through that. You guys can read that if you're actually curious about it. But yeah, no. I think the best thing in the patch is, of course, missiles getting nerfed. Everyone wanted that. And then for me, I'm just really excited about Splatana. I'm excited about Tri-Stringer. I want to see that weapon used more. Zipcaster being buffed is nice. Reslider, still waiting on that one. We don't know enough information yet. But if they do buff its splash damage, that's a good buff. If they don't, then this is kind of a pointless buff, if you ask me. I mean, yes, of course, it is nice that you can't get parried anymore from a squid roll. But, like, that's really a minor change. It needed some other stuff to actually be decent, if you ask me. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. That's all the stuff I care about, at least. But let me know what you guys think of this patch. Let me know if there's anything that I didn't talk about that you guys really like, or, vice versa, whatever. But yeah, let me know. And then I do plan on doing a stream on Wednesday. I'll probably start around 4 p.m. Pacific time when the update goes live, and we will try out X Rank. You will see my first reactions. If you can't make the stream, I'll upload the VOD on YouTube, so don't worry about it. But yeah, just letting you guys know. Look forward to that. And yes, that's going to be all. Thank you for watching. Now I'm going to go sleep for 5 hours before class. So yeah, great. Okay, goodbye.